All right, what's going on, guys? I am finally back home from the Bassmaster Kayak Series Championship, and obviously for me, went really well there on Lake Tenkiller. Can't complain. I'm still doing so many media interviews and podcasts, and it's just really cool to see how many people have been following along and care about kayak these days. So definitely can't complain. Trying to spend as much time as I can with the family. I miss my son and daughter and wife like crazy, so just trying to get caught up on life and sleep. Eventually I will, but not complaining, that is for sure. But one of the most common questions I've gotten since I got back was about my kayak setup and how I was able to get it to draft so shallow, the kayak I was using, the motor, everything about it, the battery setup, all the weight distribution. So I'm just gonna do a quick one take here, walkthrough of my entire setup. I've got it set up right here on the other side of me here, and you guys can see how I got it done. And it was the Crescent kayak Shoalie that I designed to be a really good, solid riverboat. And obviously that's one of the things it excels at. And I was going up a river, so with a motor on it, it definitely, just enhanced its whole and capabilities, right? So obviously bow stern here, you can see, I'm gonna actually remove this bending branches paddle, but I wanted to have it on there so you guys could, understand the importance of a good paddle. So that's the Angler Pro from Bending Branches. Got my nav lights right there, these little clip lights that I just bought off of Amazon or somewhere, little red and greens that clip on and off. You flip it up and you'll notice you can stow 2 Torqeedo batteries in the bow of this thing, which is critical because you need the extra, power for later in the day when one of them dies. So you can only go about 3.5 miles in full speed with one of these, and going upstream I can only go maybe 2.5. So the cool thing about this Shoalie is this upper compartment here, you can see it's real tight in here, it's real tight. But what you got to do is, it barely fits. We designed it this way to hold these batteries, but I actually didn't think that a second one was going to be able to make it there. But if you shove it in, it actually wedges against that and holds it nice and tight, which is perfect. And then the other one can go down here in the lower level of the hatch, okay? So you're not going to use your rod storage in this situation, obviously, but that is the bow hatch. Okay, moving on. You'll notice I got more batteries. So you got to bring a lot of batteries. So thanks again to all those folks that let me borrow batteries. And you want that weight up front, okay, for the maximum speed on the Torqeedo 1103, which we'll get into later. But in the cubby, the front cubby, it's your fish finder cubby, it's your junk drawer cubby to throw stuff, it's your iPhone holder, it's all that cool stuff, right? But it's also the perfect size magically for that Torqeedo battery to sit there. And again, more weight gets pushed up front, which is great. Now, moving on to the middle section here, you'll notice that my seat seems a little closer to this catchboard recess than it normally is. And that's because I actually had to make an adjustment here, and I used the high seat position on the, not the high seat position, the high seat that we sell at Crescent Kayaks, the actual high seat itself, which isn't even made for the Shoalie. This is your normal high seat position with the normal size chair, and this is the low position down here. The high position, it just gets you a little bit higher, but it doesn't work with this kayak in the low position, if that makes sense, because this bar will hit right here if you get it down there. So I actually have the high seat position because I like sitting high, but on the Torqeedo, I want to move forward, so more weight is forward, right? Just want to keep that weight as forward as possible, including my body weight. So that's why I moved it forward. I had to kind of rig it with some of the 3/4 inch cam straps. You'll notice right there and right there. So I rigged it with those 3/4 inch cams. I've got one in the back holding it too. So it's actually just on the pad kit, but strapped down tight, and it's going to move the whole kayak. So it's on nice and tight. I've got the kayak cushion there, which is nice, going to keep you comfortable all day. And the steering setup with the Torqeedo is obviously with your foot pegs here. So, and sorry, the boat is a wreck. It's a mess. It's super dirty, obviously, and haven't cleaned it. Hadn't had time to get much done since I've been back. But let me show you what I got for tackle. This kind of ended up being my junk drawer over here, which is cool. You can see that's one of the spinner baits that got her done there. That sling blades with the double skirt trimmed up, and it actually had a fish bite off that that chartreuse tail there on that Z-Man minnows. That's kind of my junk drawer during the day. And then I had one bag right here of soft plastics. So just open it up, you can see just full of all the Z-Man stuff pretty much. And that's that glow chartreuse, glow and chartreuse tail minnows I was using on that spinner bait. And underneath here, you'll notice I got 2 Plano boxes of the Hydro Flows. I actually like those really good because they drain water out and things don't rust when that happens, and they're even less expensive than the Edge, which is also a good product. But over here, you'll notice I've got my scissors and my pliers on this new lodestone from, I believe it's Big Drip Outdoors. Jose Chavez hooked me up with one of these. He sent me one. When I saw it, I was like, dude, that's so cool. I want one of those for my kayak setup. And the lodestone will hold extra baits during the day. I throw some baits on there. Obviously, your scissors, pliers, anything you need, it will just stick right to it magnetically. So shout out to those guys. Thank you so much for sending that. Made life on the water a little bit sweeter and simpler and efficient. And then right here, I've got my Torqeedo battery that I'm using right behind the seat. Now, the beauty of moving that seat forward, not only do you gain extra, like tenths of a mile an hour, you actually get a little space right here, enough space in between, as you can see, to fit a Torqeedo battery right there before you get to the tank well section. So that's pretty cool. So it sits there and it moves it more forward. You can also put Torqeedo batteries under here. They can fit under the seat, this high seat. So there's a lot of places you could still pile, you know, more in there if you needed it, including even right here as well. This right here is my emergency sort of toolkit for the Torqeedo. So, you know, if you watch any of Jeff Little's stuff, he tells you, you always need to make sure you have all the extra stuff needed for the day. You know, your prop nut, wrench, I got WD-40, I've even got extra nav lights in there. Anything I would possibly need, pliers, I have it in there, and a little toolkit. And then the next bag here, I won't even need to get into it, but it's just my GoPro stuff, ibuprofen, you know, just a few extra things for the GoPro for filming. A net, which I should have used on one of my fish, goes right here in our Yak Attack. It's sort of a taco style paddle holder, or rod holder, or net holder. Obviously, I use my net there, and I'm gonna throw it out of the way so we can see all this back set up a little bit better. And speaking of boondocks right here, I've got the Boondocks landing gear set up and the riser for the Yak Attack Black Pack, which is cool because this, I can stick more stuff if I needed to underneath there, but I'm trying to, you know, keep my boat light for this event. And actually during the event, I didn't even use the Black Pack. I stripped it down as low and limited and lightweight as I could, but that's the smaller size Black Pack, which I prefer. I've even got the Crescent, you know, bag here. That is a seat bag. It's pretty cool. For other soft plastics and some other stuff that I just need to throw in there during the day. So I use that more on, I use this in this tournament on pre-fishing, but usually it's on the kayak for the event. Now, here we go. Here's some of the fun stuff, guys. The Torqeedo 1103 with some Innovative Sportsman upgrades. So you'll notice that my airplane wing piece here is cut down short. I got it cut much shorter so I could literally just draft even shallower. So you'll notice, I haven't even looked here. This is about, I think how I had it set up. It's under the boat, probably, I mean, it's barely under. I mean, I was going, if I remember correctly, it was like 6 or 7 inches I could fly in and full speed and get it to chew. You can bend this rock right a little lower, but I like to keep it down about the height, I guess, the distance of this, whatever, I'm blanking on what it's called here, but basically it's that fin, tail fin there, and it kicks up whenever you need to. It'll just, you know, obviously can kick up and take your feet off those foot pegs and let it do its thing, and it'll pop right back down and keep going. So this is the Innovative Sportsman rock guard. You got to check it. You got to tighten these things up during the day because it will loosen. The whole thing will start to loosen and wobble when you just keep beating it up so much. So it's a really, really sweet product from Innovative Sportsman, and thanks to Trey for making that. I couldn't have done it without it. The prop here on the Torqeedo, you can see it is very, very beat up from that event, and it's much, much smaller than what they normally look like. It's just been sheared down so much. But that's the prop setup. And then this is the steering triangle from Innovative Sportsman that is just beefier than the one that normally comes with the 1103. I think the new Torqeedo motor comes with a beefy one, the brand new one that they're coming out with, which I'm excited to get. And that is so now normally I would have, just so you know, this is how crazy it was this event. Normally I'd have the grass cutter blade from Innovative Sportsman right here, the one that you put on right here with the little screw. I even took that off for this event. I was like, I don't want anything extra on there because there's no grass. In 10 kilo, there's no grass. I was like, I just don't want anything extra that, it sounds crazy, that's extra slowing me down and messing up the hydrodynamics or whatever. Again, I know it sounds a little crazy, but I took it off for this event. Just showing how a rod here lays in that same rod holder, the Yak Attack rod holder here, and you know, keeps them laying down low and nice so you can go underneath trees and stuff. And then my GoPro setup was like this here. And it's a Hero 10, and also been using 11s and about to get some 12s. So thank you GoPro for making some incredible cameras that help me capture some great memories. Again, the Yak Attack VisiCarbon Pro, I just kind of secured it here onto this Boondocks landing gear arm, right? One of my extra landing gear pieces I use for filming, and it's very sturdy. You can see it's very sturdy. It secures into here, super sturdy. And then I have I bring an extra Torqeedo kill switch. Thanks to Tour Telequad and Explore Cherokee, they gave us these awesome bags. Bassmaster did, the Bassmaster Kayak Series, through those guys. And I'll just throw some extra snacks in there. And I didn't have any, sorry guys, I didn't have a can of chunky soup to put in here. Usually I have that can of soup sitting right here, or right back here. But I didn't have any extra cans of soup to throw in there to show you guys. That's normally what I've got there. And the throttle is hooked up here on a Yak Attack arm as well. And that's a Torqeedo throttle. And then, I'm trying to think what I've missed here. I don't know if I've missed a whole lot. I think I got it pretty much covered. Yeah, that's the setup. Getting about 6.7 miles an hour with this bad boy, and used to get 6.2, so those adjustments made a difference. The weight distribution made a difference, and just goes to show, I mean, you can really dial in your setup to your style of fishing and continue to get more and more efficiency out of your boat, get more comfort, get, you know, just a little bit more dialed in to what you love to do. It doesn't matter if you're a live scoper or offshore electronics guy, you can continue to refine it, get it better. And I was just fortunate to be able to do that at this event. So thanks to everyone at Bassmaster for putting on a great event, and just really appreciate all the kayak anglers and all the support from friends and family. I mean, those are the best kayak anglers in the country. So to be able to beat them is saying something, and just really feel blessed and fortunate and very thankful to God for all these blessed me with and given me, and hopefully I can take that. And you know, obviously there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. So hopefully I can represent all of us well for this next year, and try to defend, you know, a year from now over there somewhere in Texas, who knows where. But thanks for tuning into the video, guys, and we'll catch you the next time.